Our Losi Mini-b, our brush version, it's been pretty fun right out of the box, but I think it's time to give it an upgrade. So like I was saying, this thing's been a lot of fun right out of the box, but I think we can make it a little bit faster and make it even that much more fun. So we went on everyone's favorite place, Amazon, and we picked up, I think, probably one of the cheapest brushless systems that we can get. We'll obviously add a link to it in the description. We'll put a picture right up here so you can see it nice and close. So it was $35 on Amazon, 35 Canadian that is. Comes with this waterproof ESC. It's a 35 amp, nothing special at all. Says it does 3S LiPo. We're probably just going to keep it on 2S. And then it comes here with this 4-pole 4500 kV motor. Once again, nothing special. We read the reviews. Some people say they catch on fire. Some people say they run for years. So I guess we're going to have to find out. So it also comes with this little instruction paper here. I don't think we're going to need that at all. We'll throw that off over to the side there. So we might as well get you guys in a little bit closer. We'll show you what we're going to do to get this brushless system put in. So I think this is going to be pretty easy. You're just going to start with a 1.5 millimeter hex driver here. There's 2 screws to take out. There's going to be one here at the front and then one back here at the back. We'll get those off and out of the way. That cover will come right off and we'll set it off to the side there. And you can look inside. Just going to be able to have to take this little spur gear off here. There's just that little nut there at the top. Loosen her up. Might have Loctite, so you may have to crank pretty hard. You should be able to slide it right off of there. Set her off to the side. And then right here, you'll see that there's 2 little screws there. That's going to release the motor for us. Hopefully you can see that there. It comes with a little washer in behind that screw, so make sure you don't lose that. There we go, pretty simple. Pull that motor out of there. Now we're going to have to look into, there's a little clip there that holds those wires in place. I don't want to break it, and I've seen a few people that have tried to pull it off, and they've just broken it. So give us a second, we're going to see what we can do here, and see how we get these wires out of here without having to cut them. So unfortunately, we cannot find any way to get that little bracket off. I think it's part of the chassis, so we ended up just cutting the wires. Not a big deal. We can always solder them back together if we have to in the future, or put on some connectors. So the next thing we're going to do here is we're going to have to get that 2-in-1 ECU and receiver off of there, and it should just be stuck there with some double-sided tape, so we should be able to just pop it right off. Okay, there we go. Nice and easy. And it looks like it's got a little connector there to extend it. So we'll get that off and get it out of the way. There we have it. Nice clean chassis to start with. So remember, when you're doing this conversion, this doesn't come with a transmitter, so you are going to need something. So we're just grabbing something off the shelf. It's a team associated one. We're going to use that and throw it in. Should do the trick. But yeah, once you're getting rid of that 2-in-1 ESU and receiver, you're going to have to find something else to use. So that's what we're going to go with. So now, I think it should be a pretty simple installation from what I've read and I understand. So like I said, we've got to get some of these screw holes here to line up with the screw holes on our motor plate. And we almost forgot one of those little washers there. We don't want to lose that. So I'm thinking we're going to try cables down. That way we can kind of tuck them in and out of the way. Looks like to try and get this in there, we're going to have to get rid of this plate, or at least take one of the screws off here so we can flip it up backwards. So right inside here, there's just a little screw there. We're just going to get that out of the way, and that should let us flip this forward. It's a big long screw there that we're yanked out. Set it aside. That should. Oh, we may have to pull the screws out of the bottom, but that should give us enough room here. Sorry, get my hands out of the way. Just by taking that screw off, it should give us enough room to just flex it up there and get that motor in, I bet. Let's see what we can do here. Yep. We just had to tilt it up a little bit, That way we could slide her, sorry, tilt it up a little bit, slide it right in there, no problem. So we're going to kind of put the wires down to the bottom here. So that way they can just run along our frame. See if any of these screw holes line up. Got to get into our light here. All right, well, we finally got this motor put in. Fits pretty good. We did have to do a little bit of monkeying around. Did have to wallow out the screw holes just a little bit. So we had to get different hardware in there. This motor does need a little bit of a bigger screw. So you're going to need something along those lines. And we did change the pinion gear there to a 14 tooth. The other one did not fit, like the factory one. Didn't fit on the new pole. It was too small of a hole. So found the one that fit. And I think here as you're here, we got that mesh pretty good. I don't think we'll have any issues with that at all. So now on to the next. Obviously, we don't have a whole lot of room in there. Got to fit this ESC and, of course, our receiver. So I'm thinking what we may end up having to do here, you can see right in there, there's those little knockoffs for where the battery tray is. I think we may end up having to shave those down a little bit. That way, we'll get this in here. So that way we can maybe either set this in straight, I'm not sure, or a little bit more on an angle. We'll get the battery in, but maybe we can get this shoved over. If we cut this out a little bit, maybe we can get this shoved over a little bit. And that'll allow us just to put our receiver right in here, something along these lines. We'll have to figure it out here in just a couple of minutes, and we'll bring you back once we've got it all set in place and let you know what we had to do. Alrighty, there we go. That was pretty darn simple. Like I said, all we ended up doing was just trimming out that one little corner there. That way we could set the ESC right in place, nice and easy. We've got our little receiver right here off to the side. We'll still double side tape it in there. And then we've got our little power button. I think we've got enough room just to kind of jam it right in there beside it. And it'll all be tucked in there nice and easy. Now, we did make a mistake. Not a big mistake or by any means, but what we should have done is trim this side off over here, kind of switch everything over so the receiver could be on that side. That way, you don't have to use an extension. In our case, we have to use an extension for our steering servo to get it over here. If you did put the receiver over here, obviously, the factory one would work, so not a big deal. So we're going to get this thing all buttoned up. We'll bring you back in a few minutes, and we'll be heading back to the track to see what this thing does. Well, all right, it's the next day. We've got this thing all put together. As you can see in here, she's tucked in all nice. We've kind of still got the little power button here, just kind of sitting in there. No real place to put it, but it'll be fine, I think. We're using something a little bit different than the stock battery here. Got it from Amazon. It's a Urginex 1100 milliamp battery. 7.4 volt, of course. Just a 35 cell. Should be a little bit bigger than what comes with the factory, so I think it'll give us just a little bit more punch that we need. All right, so we're going to get the body thrown on this thing. We're going to head out back to the dirt track, and I think after that, we'll head to the skate park for a little bit, because I bet you with more speed, this thing is just going to fly over those jumps. Well, we've made it out back to the track. It's a little dry and dusty, but let's see how this thing does now that she's got a whole lot more speed. Turn a few laps here on this poor old dry and dusty track. See how it does. Definitely need to get some better tires for this thing, that's for sure. Definitely think she's gonna jump a lot better though. Oh, right off to the side. There we go. Definitely got a lot more speed than that poor brush system, that's for sure. Way more than we need on this dusty track, but man, does it ever rip. Barely control it out here now. Definitely need to get some pin tires or something for this thing. I think that would definitely help out a lot. Throttle's pretty darn touchy, I'll have to say. You really got to be on it and off it. Well, I think until we get some better tires, we're not going to have a whole lot of success here on this poor and dry, dusty track. So maybe we should just head on over to the skate park where we got a little bit better traction. I think maybe we'll just pack it up here at the old dirt track, head over to the skate park. I think we'll do a lot better over there. Maybe a little bit better traction with these tires. Oh, that was a good one. Maybe we'll see if we can hit the jump over here a couple more good times before we run away. You can send it off of here a couple times. Oh, that was a good one. Ran out of room. So we've made it over to the skate park. I think this is where this little car is definitely going to shine. Oh, right into the pole there. Oh, there we go. Now this thing can really get up and hit those jumps. She slaps hard, that's for sure. But she does pretty good. Wonder if we can get some off this center jump here. Maybe we can send it off into the grass. There we go. Nice soft landing in the grass. Start from way back here, see if we can really get some speed up. Oh, there we go, at least landed flat. Oh. See if we can hit this big old jump here. Oh, right off into the trees. There we go, much better. Landed flat. Oh, no problem. Even comes back down okay. Ah, now we're getting the hang of this thing. Well, thanks so much for watching. I definitely think this thing is a little more suited towards the skate park than the dirt track now. We might have to do something about that because we love dirt. If you like this cheap brushless upgrade, just wait for the next one because it only costs us $15. Yeah, $15 for a brushless upgrade. We're going to do it on our Losi Mini-b. So don't forget, if you're not a subscriber and you're new here, hit that subscribe button down below. Ring that bell, that way you're going to get all the new upcoming videos. And thanks so much. We'll see you again next time.